I'll start off.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Coach Brown was talking about the depth of the defensive line and on defense as a whole, keeping you guys fresher by playing less snaps. But at the same time, you know, there are guys pushing you for playing time. Can you just talk about how that's made you a better defense?
I feel like Coach Chiz and Coach Cross has done an amazing job getting our boys in and out. Like KBJ, he got a couple snaps yesterday. He did amazing. Him, Trav stepped up when KJ Esther was out. Yeah, it was a great defensive effort from our front. So it was a good game.
You stay fresher?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
How does that feel?
Oh, it was for end of the game, just in case we had a neck-to-neck game or something like that. Coach would put me in any time of the game, knowing I'm fresh. He put Trav out there, knowing he can trust me with the plays. So it's like an amazing feeling.
Myles, what was I believe it was one of those, wasn't it?
Yeah, we getting paid this year. That's what it means. Yeah, D-line gonna ball out this year. That's what basically that means.
Just want to check.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah. Myles, obviously you're a guy that's been around for a while now, and in some ways, what do you think in which ways do you think your game is kind of grown from when you first got here to obviously now being a senior, being a part of that defensive line? How do you think your game has grown?
I think I can now. I'm just reading offensive linemen now. Right now, I can just see what they're doing. I can tell when they get in their stance. I can see what's about to happen. It's about to run a pass. I can see if he's leading, if he's gonna come at me or not. Whether I can just get him to slip him or just play technique or let my linebackers fill in. So the game got way easier for me now. It's like I'm playing it on PlayStation or something. This is crazy now.
What was the difference for you Saturday?
Saturday, I was just feeling it. It was just the energy was right, the sideline was right. It was an amazing atmosphere. Coach Brown was yeah, our sideline's got to be up for our players going. So it was yeah, we're gonna have an amazing energy and we're gonna ball out.
Has consistency been something you've had to kind of battle personally, and kind of walk us through that, what that's like to be inconsistent and then kind of find that game that you did the other day?
Yeah.
Do you think that might spark something moving forward?
Yeah, today in practice, just got to keep balling. We just had a meeting on Sunday, but we got on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, we just got to ball like it's a game. So basically take the practice like it's a game. Just take it
for you personally?
Oh, for me personally?
Yeah.
Oh, me personally, I just got to keep grinding. Keep studying the film, just keep going from here out.
And I want to ask a follow-up because I hate to hog this, but last year you had a bum ankle.
Yeah.
And we were told every once in a while you didn't practice, but you were playing on
Yeah.
Saturdays. Did that set you back at all? Did that affect, maybe slow some of your development?
Yeah, it definitely did, but now I feel amazing now. Last year, my ankle was killing me, and I was rushing to get back, and I was that wasn't really smart of me. Now I'm just I feel good now, and it's about to be amazing. So we got 7 games left. I'm about to try to boost my dominance up for the next 7 games.
Did it never get better, Myles? Because it was a Georgia State game, and then did it just never get back right?
It was supposed to get back right, but I pushed it. In practice, my coach didn't want me to practice. I practiced anyway because I don't like missing practice. So I say by the due game, it started to feel better. And from there on out, I started get the feeling back, but it really was never 100%.
Yeah.
Myles, you said earlier that you kind of done a better job being able to read offensive linemen, things like that, just being able to read offenses. Was there any player that maybe at the time was older than you that kind of helped you being able to read the line like you do now?
I'll probably say Tamon Fox, me and him, my sophomore year, he was just bro, look at him, look at his hands. You can just tell what's about to happen. So listening to him really helped me for the long run through my senior year.
Cedric Gray was saying the other day that after the game might have been the most complete defensive game he can remember since he's been here. Did it feel that way to you, and why?
Oh yeah, it feels but I don't think we finished. I think this is just the floor for us. I think we got a lot of improvement for growth. That was just scratching the surface for us.
Let's go, Myles. Yesterday, Gene was saying that Miami might be the fastest team that you guys have seen so far. What is kind of the key to kind of containing that speed and making sure that the speed doesn't obviously they don't take advantage of you guys with the speed?
I feel Miami's a really good team. That's going to be a real tough battle against us and them. So we just got a game plan right, practice the right way, and it's going to be a real good game to watch this coming Saturday.
KBJ played, I think, 17 snaps the other day and played really well. Travis played the most snaps I think he's played in the game.
Yeah.
You guys are really deep. Does that kind of change maybe how you approach when you go out there for a series, knowing that you don't have to pace yourself and you can go balls out in 7, 8 plays, whatever it is?
Yeah, that right there, I can just go out 6, 7 plays, give all I got, give a tap. I know I got my guys I got Javari or KBJ knowing they're going to come in and give the same effort. That's bringing in a whole lot of energy right there, knowing I can just go out and give my own and my guys gonna back me up and they're gonna go ball out when I'm out.
Myles, I know that you guys felt like just as a whole defense, you had improved over the spring and the summer coming into this season and kind of had some things to prove. Mm-hmm. But was the season opener sort of an eye opener in some ways that like, hey, we have made these steps, we are better. Like, was that sort of the night you saw it? Yeah. You sort of realized it, or was there another time maybe during camp or something where you're like, we're going to be a lot better than we were last year?
Yeah, I would say like during fall camp, we used to scrimmage the offensive line. We used to get after them a lot. They'll get us and we'll get them, but most of the time we'll get them some of the times. So when that South Carolina game came, it was like, yeah, we're really good now. We can just show off. We've been practicing all year and just show why we the best.
And is there ever a sense of like, for you maybe personally saying like, I told you so. You know what I mean? Like, some people had a lot of stuff to say last year about you guys not being great. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, is there a sense now of like, look, I told you this was going to get better. Do you have any of that going on?
Yeah, not really. We going to keep grinding throughout the year. We don't really listen to all that now. We just keep going throughout the season without really listening to all that now.
All right. You guys good?
Thanks,
Myles.
Thanks, Myles. I wanted to ask you about, like, the individual drill you mentioned the other night after the game. Mac was talking about it a little bit yesterday, and you were mentioning how like intense it is.
Yeah.
When the big time reporter asked you about it.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, could you just like describe it for us? Like, we don't know what that is. Like, what do you do, and like, why is it so beneficial? Do you think?
Yeah. So it really goes. It'd be better if he could actually do stuff with us. So the thing is that he's just got to kind of watch it and kind of orchestrate it. So he's just kind of over there on the side watching, which is the bummer part. But he kind of tells Coach Lindsey, he's over there smirking on the side because Coach Lindsey, we're jumping over hurdles. We're dodging big yoga balls. We're doing the whole 9 yards. More of it. It's really just get on some throwing the run drills, and right after that we'll go into the big bag drills we call it, where we're moving and shuffling in the pocket versus like through a wave. It's kind of a wave drill, and the next we're going the hurdles, then we're going back over the hurdles, then we're going back. So just a whole lot of different stuff that it's really just good stuff to kind of get your day started, and really from there I kind of feel like the rest of practice is kind of coasting back there in the pocket, because a lot of that stuff is really you're moving on the move, and then some of that translates into the game. So.
Mac mentioned that it maybe, some of that work maybe has helped you through the first 5 games, not like drift into a sack.
Yeah.
Maybe how you might have been. Do you think that's just...
Yeah, for sure. I think I drifted more last year. I think I still drifted, I'm drifting less, but at times I still think I did. So Saturday, I won the Tez. We had him open on maybe the first or second drive. I'm out there in the end zone and missed him. I think I missed him. I drifted a little bit into that one. Other than that, trying to do a better job. Still one of those things that's kind of my play style. It's kind of like to be, on the move, and not. I wouldn't say I'm still calm in the pocket, but a little bit antsy back there, ready to move or dodge somebody. So just kind of, still have to deal with that, but at the same time, keeping the same mentality, making plays.
How long is it drill? Right? The one you're talking
about? We're usually it can be. Depending on the practice, Tuesday like today, it's 15 minutes. So 15 minutes straight. Yeah, nonstop. He'll give us the last, minute or so. He calls it a washout. We'll get to just, drink some water or something and rest up for team periods. But really, it's about 15 minutes and 15 minutes individual. Then we'll go with the running backs for a little bit for about 5 minutes. Then we're going to routes on air. And then from straight there, we're going to team. So, I know that guy thought I was crazy when I said I was a little bit, winded. But no, I think that's how it should be. I think he even used to mention it. Tom Brady used to like it when they did it because it felt like he got his feet moving, and he got,
So Brady ran the same type of...
Yeah, he showed me, exact same drills that they ran in Tampa, on film, watching them. It's pretty cool that we're doing some of the same stuff.
Where are you right now with respect to game management? And I ask that knowing that you have Freddie and Clyde and they're NFL guys, and maybe managing the game a little bit more like an NFL quarterback as far as taking certain things instead of trying to make throws maybe you would have made last year. Yeah,
exactly. That's huge. I think they're great at just kind of, like I said, taking the check down. You never go broke taking a profit. They always, they're big on their guys. Especially Coach Kitchens and tight ends, not doing the right thing and coaching them hard. But at the same time, they'll give little pieces of advice here and there, whether it's leadership wise or on the field wise that go a long way. And they're great minds, and they've really done a great job of they've coached great quarterbacks, and Coach Kitchens played quarterback, and obviously Clyde's play quarterback as well, and he's coached the best of them. So Coach Christian and Coach Kitchen, they've been an awesome addition, along with Coach Lindsay. They've got a lot of minds, and I think the best thing about it is they're all not trying to coach me like I'm the only the one they're coaching. They're all if they may throw a soundbite here or soundbite there, and really let Coach Lindsay be the main coach. That's
an example of that. I think it was in the second quarter the other night. I think you threw to British.
Absolutely.
Picked up a first
That's
down.
what I was thinking.
Yeah,
when
and
you said
there
that.
was a lot of stuff going on there, but you went through your progression very quickly and just dumped it in. It was like the safe throw, and he got the first down.
Yeah.
Is that an example of this?
I think that's exactly an example. I think 2 or 3 times I checked it down, and I think the running backs, one time at the end of the second half, and Amari got like 13 or 14 yards on the check down, and we almost went for it on 4th down. Another time I checked it out to Amari on the right side. Going towards the student section, he got like 7 or 8 yards in the red zone. And also, I think I took maybe one time on 3rd down, I had Nate down over to the left. I could have checked down to him. I think it was like 3rd and 9, going towards the blue zone. He was open on a little option route to the left. I think I could have found him. And maybe just get 6 or 7, or who knows, break tackle and get 9 or 10. So I'm just trying to get that mindset going of these guys. That's what they do. They catch the football and make plays. So kind of get out of my hand and not always trying to make plays with my feet.
Drake, how easy of a transition has it been in practice with Tez being back in there? Not just because of his abilities, but during the spring and fall, you planned on him being there. I know last week you found out 2 days before that he was going to play, but this week in practice, has it been an easy transition?
Yeah. Oh, he makes it look smooth. We got a lot of work, after practice still, even when he was, ineligible, and just kind of getting back into the groove and getting him in there and having him and JJ and those outside guys balance, playing different spots and adjusting to the news, having Tez back, for full. And we've got a lot of reps with Tez in the spring, and it's like I feel like we haven't lost anything over the summer and even into the fall. When the season came, I feel like we haven't lost anything. And him and Marcus over there, they went at it all spring, and I feel like he did a great job getting Marcus better, and Marcus the same for Tez. So just kind of the same mentality of all that work in the spring is coming to pay off.
Yeah, and just to go off of that, when you have guys like, let's say JJ and Kobe doing what they did before Tez and Nate came back, you get those guys back. Even you have a guy like, Nesbitt had, 5 catches the other day.
Yeah.
Is there a balance you have to strike to, who you're kind of getting the ball in games, or is it just a matter of whoever's open is just open?
Yeah, I think that's the best thing about this offense. Just trying to, take what the defense gives us, or whoever's open. That's the way I try to play. And sometimes, some teams get in trouble with trying to feed guys a certain amount of touches, but at the same time, you want to get those guys, the guys that are making plays, like Nate and Tez and JJ. Like I said, we've got a lot of guys making plays, so just trying to, find the right play and make the right decision.
How hard was it that you didn't have first-team reps with Tez for the last 3 weeks, and how much of a difference will it be for the next game?
Yeah, I think it'll be huge. Obviously, I don't feel like he missed a beat out there. I think, maybe, the one throw I had to him, I think we had some underneath passes, some hitches there off him. But I think the one throw in the end zone that I missed him, that's just me. Got to make a play, got to make a better throw. But I don't feel like Tez really missed a beat. I think maybe one play, I thought I think I ended up taking a sack down there, and then we were backed up. I don't know if you remember, and I ended up looking his way, and I pump faked him, and he ended up running a route that I thought, a different route that I thought, and that's just being on the same page, and like you said, not getting first team reps, and just stuff like that happens. You just got to manage the negative plays and not turn into bigger negative.
Max, did you get to see the end of the Miami Georgia Tech game on Saturday night? Like after you got home, did you get to see the end of it?
I turned it off. Once after the last time that Miami got the ball and they were running it out, I turned it off, and the next thing you see it popping up and on social media. Some of the guys texting. Just a heartbreaking way to lose, and just that stuff's important. That's the little things in football that's important. The game management, time management stuff, and I think Coach Lindsay's got that in the back of his play call sheet. How many timeouts can you need out, and how many timeouts can they have, and stuff like that. And so that stuff that goes to show how important the little things are.
Do you think people might be underrating Miami just because of how they lost, forgetting that they're still pretty good?
Yeah, I don't know if underrated is the word, but that's a good question. I think they're really talented. I just watching them on defense, they're flying around. Obviously, I know Tyler Van Dyke pretty well. He's a good dude. He can make plays, and he's a great quarterback. So we're gonna have our hands full. We got to bring it. They got some great young talent on defense. I think they play well. They beat Texas A&M by a pretty good margin, and I feel like, watching the Georgia Tech film, they play well defensively, had 2 interceptions. So they're.
I was going to ask you, you had a tough loss at Georgia Tech last year. How hard is that to overcome and really get up for the next game? Is it hard for you and for the team or not?
Yeah, that's Coach Brown does a great job of trying to enforce to let a team beat you twice, and that's a tough mentality in college football. I think the big thing is with a team like that's undefeated like Miami, and a team that we were 9-1, last year going to Georgia Tech, it kind of puts a damper on your season. So yeah, it's just a kind of the type of thing where you gotta try extra hard, or put some extra work in, or watch some extra film to try to get over that hump. But at the same time, it's one of those things that Coach Brown still talks about to this day. So it's one of those things that kind of lingers, and just as a human being, like you said, it's kind of tough to get over.
Max said yesterday that he thought maybe Josh was targeted too much late last year. How is that room different now with the breadth of options that you have, especially now that Tez is back? Where if you don't, you're not gonna have to focus on 1 or 2 receivers. You've got a lot of dudes there.
Yeah, it makes it tough on the defense. That's the biggest thing. They can't sit and cloud over an outside receiver or bracket inside receiver. They can. They have to take everybody and look at everybody and look at the personnel and treat everybody with respect, and that's the best thing we got going. We had a lot of guys making plays, and Josh was one of the best at them last year, and I feel like we could have still my part of trying to get him the rock, trying to get the best guy the ball in his hands. So sometimes you can't take that away, but one of the best instances from Tez is I think I probably saw the clip of him streaking open on a kind of a crossing route towards the blue zone, and I ended up throwing it to Nate at the backside post, and Tez turns back and puts his hands up for touchdown, and I end up overthrowing Nate a little bit. He was going to dive for it and gets tackled at the 1, but that just goes to show those guys are cheering for each other in that room. They're not being selfish over catches or touches or who's getting a touchdown. They're all cheering for each other.
On that play specifically, was that just the easier throws, Nate? Is that why? Because you had both guys.
Yeah, I probably should have thrown Tez. Yeah, it's kind of a just a moving kind of. I had maybe a little bit of pressure with Kamari there. We had a split floor protection, but at the end of the day, Tez was freaking open. I saw the backside safety get eyes on me, but Tez ran right by him. So,
Drake, how excited are you guys? You got a primetime home game coming up here with the excitement around this team and everything. So what kind of excitement are you going to feel, you and your teammates, Saturday night? A primetime here at home. This
I'm hoping for one of the great night in Keenan. I'm challenging the fans to come out. They've done a great job so far this season. A night game against a ranked opponent, a ranked matchup. We're number 12 in the country. They're top 25. So what more can you ask for in Carolina football? So let's bring some energy and let's go out and have some fun Saturday night.
Drake, Mac was saying yesterday to us that he said, and I think to the coaches and staff meeting, one thing to remember is yes, we're 5-0, but the story of this team is still being written.
Yeah.
And you obviously want to write a lot of chapters to this thing.
For sure.
Do you think that's an important reminder that obviously you're off to a great start, but the story's still being written? Is that something important to keep in mind for you guys?
100%. Yeah, he reiterated that this morning in the team meeting. Kind of the story's still being written and kind of unfolding. So it's our job to kind of leave legacy, be remembered here. Not as just a football team, but also as people. How we're handling the success and not let it kind of fiddle off and let it beat us. So I think the team's got good energy and thought we had a good day of practice. So just looking forward to get back after it.
Thank you.
Yesterday, Gene Chick was saying that Miami's probably the fastest team that you guys have seen so far. First of all, would you agree with that? And then also, what makes them, effective in moving the ball down?
Yeah, they definitely have a lot of athletes that can definitely run. It's going to be a very fast offense. They're a tempo team, so we got to get used to that. We got to get prepared for that. So.
Do you think people are maybe underrating them because of how they lost against Georgia Tech? Maybe just forgetting that they're pretty good?
Yeah, I don't think underrated. They played a great game, so I think they're going to be a lot hungrier, with that loss coming in to coming into our field. But I think they're still a great team. I think they're underrated.
What makes your quarterback such a good quarterback in your mind? I mean, he's had success.
Yeah, Van Dyke. He's a great thrower. He can really throw the ball on target, especially his deep balls. He's not putting, he's not giving the DBs many opportunities to just get an easy pick. They're all on target, so I think he's a great quarterback.
Do you like a quarterback that challenges?
Yes, sir. Of course, I like quarterback that'll throw the ball, and quarterbacks that trust their receivers give DBs opportunity to make plays too, because they'll throw it.
Do you look back at previous games, Marcus, because he's thrown for a lot of yards against you guys the last 2 years. Do you look back at like those games specifically, when you're trying to get ready for an experienced quarterback, or do you try to focus on this season? Like, what's your study habits like for stuff?
Yeah, I try to focus on this season because it's they got new players, new receivers. It's a whole new system going on. So I try to focus on what they're doing now and how we can stop what they're doing now.
Do they have, I would say maybe by far, the deepest wide receiver room and most guys that you have to be concerned about than the previous teams you guys have played?
Yeah, I would say they have all around. They got threats all around. Everybody's catching balls, everybody's making plays. So they definitely got receivers that make plays.
And how are you challenged in that respect when you have maybe some of the teams you guys have played? Didn't have quite the depth that they had. So how is it a challenge when you have a lot of different dudes that can run a lot of different routes?
When you have a lot of dudes that can run different routes, and they're going fast, so it's really like a tempo game. It's going to be a lot of time, a lot of running, a lot of go balls, a lot of post balls. So it's going to be tough to you just got to really be in shape and just know that they're going to go fast. They're going to throw deep balls. We're just going to have to compete and work.
Follow up on that. Is this also a game that sort of epitomizes the need for the rush up front to be in sync with the coverage?
I think every game is like that. Really, the DBs and we've been preaching that all along. The DBs and the D-line work together. The rush works. The quarterback has less time to throw. He's less accurate. The DBs stay in coverage allows the D-line to get to the quarterback and get sacks.
Drake was just in here talking about how, Tez helped make y'all's defensive back room better. We know he was on the scout team, and, Gio Biggers kind of had, funny stories about that. But can you just kind of describe what that experience was like going against a player like Tez Walker, in practice, being on that scout team?
Yeah, Tez is good. He's going to make you work every rep. Every rep is a chance to go deep. He's really fast, so every rep you got to work on your technique. You really don't get a rep off going against him, and it's great work. We need that. What was something you kind of learned going off of that? What was something you kind of learned about your own game? Guarding player. I know you guarded him in the spring and things like that. But what's something you kind of learned going against a player like him? I worked a lot on my press technique because he's a great guy. He's a really fast guy, so you got to get hands on him. So I think that was the biggest thing. He helped me work on my press a lot.
We saw some of that in camp, didn't we, Marcus? Like the times that we were in when you guys were like good on good, like it looked like you were up there trying to get the jam.
Yeah, it's definitely you got to work when going against Tez, but it's great work. I needed that. I appreciate that a lot, really.
Marcus, is it still weird playing with your brother in the same defensive backfield? Like, have you gotten used to it yet?
Oh yeah, it's real fun. We had this one. It's just fun playing out there. We had this one punt return. We were doubling the guy, and that was really fun. Just being out there, that was really fun. Just being out there, being able to spend this time with him is something that I never thought would happen, but here I am now.
You got to find a photo of that.
Mm-hmm.
I think he said in the offseason it's the first time you've ever been on the same team because he was 4 years.
Yeah, this is the first time, so I was super excited when he was coming here.
He said he would hang out and watch your games in Little League.
Yeah, I look up to my brother a lot. I look up to my brother a lot, so being able to play with him, it's a great thing.
What did your parents say when they found out that Derek was coming to Carolina and you guys would be on the same team?
Oh, especially my mom. They were real happy, because they've been doing the split jerseys with half North Carolina, half Jersey State.
I saw them walking the stadium like that.
But now it's just straight North Carolina, so they're really happy.
What has been your personal film room focus from going back to South Carolina now? Something that you've watched very intently that you've had to maybe tweak some that you have tweaked?
Mm-hmm. I think just my technique overall. I'm a very long DB, so I really got to work on my hips. I got to work on having fast, quick motion. So that's something I've been working on.
Being long, maybe I'm presumptuous here. Does that mean that sometimes you use that length and some of the other things aren't fundamentally where they need to be, like your hips? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. And you're learning how to use everything because at this level.
Yeah, just learning how to use my whole. Obviously, length is a great thing. Length can help you. It can help you get away with a lot of things, but I think you still got to be fundamentally sound, technically sound. So, yeah.
Marcus, do you played a lot at the end of last season? This season, when you're in coverage, and this may be ridiculous, but do you feel like you have more time or more margin for error because of how well the defensive line and the front seven are playing? Did you feel like last year, okay, there's going to be less time for you to cover it out because the ball's going to be out quicker, whereas whereas now it's like you have more room to work with this season. Does that make any sense? I don't know if it does.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good thing though. That, you know, the D line getting to the quarterback and getting pressure on the quarterback. I got to cover. That's my job. You know what I mean? So however long I got to cover. But the D line getting there and understand the defense and rushing the quarterback and getting the quarterback off time and getting the receivers off time. That's great. So that's
one of the things that people talked about last year was quote unquote soft coverage. You guys were playing back a little bit. Looks like you're playing up a little bit more because the front is forcing the quarterback to get rid of the ball quicker, so you're in coverage quicker.
Yeah.
Is that accurate?
Yeah, so the front, we got to challenge, we got to come up to the receiver's face so that the front has enough time to get back, and which they're doing great, has enough time to get to the quarterback. So playing that side of coverage, it just all works in.
Marcus, I think it was 11 guys that caught passes for your offense against Syracuse, which, I mean, obviously is just a ton. Like, I mean, is that a DB's worst nightmare or a defense's worst nightmare? Like, when you know that whatever personnel package is coming on, these guys could be targeted. Like, you know, like, if you were scouting your offense, like, how would you try to go about stopping what those guys are putting out there?
Yeah, that's definitely a thing that you got to look at if the quarterback is getting all the receivers the ball, like they're all making catches. But in terms of offense, that's a great thing. It was really fun watching that, seeing everybody get a chance to eat, seeing everybody get a chance to make plays.
Marcus, late in that game on Saturday, a lot of the younger defensive players got a chance to get in. Maye Campbell's interception was probably the highlight of that, part of the game. But from your perspective, I mean, how was it seeing some of those guys get in, and just what were your thoughts on? Well, also, what are your thoughts on just kind of the way that they've been able to develop so far?
With the young guys, it's great seeing, they're practicing, working every day, trying to get on the field. So it's great them seeing the fruits of their labor finally paying off, and then be able to go out and do what they love. Like, everybody wants to play, so it's great being able to see them take the work and translate to the field.
Certainly, and they had kind of the opportunity to do that because of the big league. Would you say that's probably the most complete defensive game that you've been a part of, just only allowing the one touchdown and all that? Would you say it's probably the most complete defensive game that you all?
Yeah, I said the thing for us was finishing, and I think definitely this game we took it upon ourselves to finish the whole game, to hold the way out, and only holding the 7 points. So I think that was a great game, great defensive game by us.
You guys moved up to number 12 in the AP poll the other day, and that's higher than you ever got last year. I mean, last year you peaked at 13 and then fell off. Like, is that a cool thing just to do you like looking at stuff when it comes out on Sunday and seeing where you are, like in the rankings? Like, is that enjoyable for you personally?
I mean, it's definitely a cool thing, but I think we gotta understand that it's just rankings. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, rankings don't really matter to the end of the season where you want to go. So I think it's definitely the fruits of our labor are paying off, and we're appreciating that. But I think we still got a lot of work to do.
You guys good?
We're good.
Yeah. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you. I know you had missed a couple games, got back in the lineup. How did the bye week kind of help you in your, getting back healthy and all that?
I got hurt in practice, so I was off. I had to get off for the Minnesota and the Pitt game, and then the bye week. It just helped me get my confidence back. Getting back in shape for the game that we just played at Syracuse. It was definitely hard, missing out, especially those two critical games. Just any game, that I'm not a part of the team. But I want to play, but I know I had to sit out. That bye week helped definitely by just getting me back, recovering, getting my confidence back and getting it back in shape.
Yeah, and because of injuries or whatever the case may be, you guys have shuffled a lot of guys into that offensive line. Can you just kind of describe the process of creating some sort of like synergy up front?
I say like we all know what we have to do. We all have a goal, and if I'm out, somebody else will step in. We have great players. We have good depth. We have John Adorno, Ed Montelis. We have Will Barnes. Stepping up. And just taking on that role.
Really, how hard was it to sit out? Because I remember, I think it was the warm-ups from Minnesota game when you looked like you were either disappointed or pissed. Like, because you suited up and everything, and I guess it just wasn't working for you. Like, how hard was it to sit out for a couple of games?
Man, it was definitely tough. This is my first time ever, sitting out. I played every single game of my career.
Okay.
When I was at Coastal, I played all 38, and it was very kind of heartbreaking, because you want to play so bad, but you don't want to keep going and get injured again, and it was just really heartbreaking. And I had to just come back that bye week, you know, practice and get my confidence back up. But I give everything I have to this team, and you know, it hurts when you can't give it your all because you're hurt.
So it's kind of a tug of war with yourself in some ways. Because I mean, what was it in the spring? You're practicing broken thumb and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's sort of an internal struggle to not hurt yourself more.
Yeah, you know, you want to play. You know, I want to play, but you know, I just have to, you know, try to, you know, keep off of it just so I can, you know, be there for those big games.
Before we hit record, he said, "Thought you were 6'5". You go, I wish," but you make 5'11" work.
Yeah.
And every time I look at video, we see photos, you're getting under the pad level of a defensive lineman. So explain to me how being 5'11" actually works for you, how you make it work.
I have, you know, long arms. I have a pretty long wingspan. So I would say, you know, just, you know, listening to what my coach says, you know, just having every advantage that I can, and I'm using that. You know, I'm 5'11", you know, they might say I'm not big enough or I'm not strong enough, but I know if I can get that technique, you know, in the right place, I get a good angle, and I know my height will, you know, be an advantage.
With pad level being so important, and then obviously being able to kind of move a guy, do you think you could sort of rewrite the script a little bit, that people might down the road might be a little more open-minded to guys that maybe don't fit the spec, so to speak?
I feel like, yes, that's definitely what I'm trying to do. You know, I feel like if it was 10 years ago, I definitely wouldn't have had this shot. So, you know, I'm definitely trying to, you know, create a path, create a way, you know, for those shorter offensive linemen, you know, because, you know, we really don't get a shot. And I feel like I'm not sure, but I feel like I'm the only 5'11" offensive lineman on any roster of P5. And I feel like, you know, just me being here right now at UNC doing my thing, I feel like that's going to create a pathway for a lot of guys.
If I could follow on that one more time, do you sense frustration from some of the guys you're going up against, that maybe they line up and see you the first time and they may have some kind of preconceived notion regardless of what film tells them, and then you're getting up under them constantly and they're kind of helpless? Do you sense that frustration?
I feel like I don't really sense frustration. I just feel like they just have to respect me, you know, because I'm gonna play, you know, with 99% effort, 100% effort every single play. So if you don't respect it, you know, it's gonna be a long day.
If you get into a situation really along those lines of what AJ's asking you, if someone's talking junk to you during a game, or somebody's gotten their feelings hurt a little bit, do they always go to your size when they're trying to like mess with you? They always call you like a little or something?
I say it's really not the linemen that talk to me. It's really like more the linebackers and safeties.
Okay.
Like,
all right.
It's more like, you know, just chirping.
What do they say to you?
What is some of that chirping?
PG.
What is some of that chirping?
I say they'll just be like, little dude, you know, just little dude, you short. Why you out here? You little, and stuff like that.
What do you say back to them?
I just, you know, keep it cordial. I start laughing, you know, and then just bring it to the next play.
Willie, with this week's game being primetime national television ranked team coming into Keenan, is this why you came here, for opportunities like this?
Yes, definitely. You know, the primetime games. I feel like, you know, UNC, like, they've always, you know, been like a big school, you know, and especially going back to the South Carolina game, walking into that stadium, you know, it was just like, this is my time, you know, this is our time, you know, to show the world what we have, you know, and just that feeling, you know, walking out and playing in front of 60,000, 70,000, that just, you know, electrifies you.
What is that? When do you feel that? Like you're talking about maybe going out to South Carolina game. When does it hit you?
Really, like when you know, in warm-ups, you know, you see everybody coming in, everybody's, you know, getting to their seats, and you see all the cameras, you see all the people on the sideline, and you're like, oh yeah, this is about that time to go.
What is your wingspan? You're talking about what?
I think it's either 6'8" or 6'7". I'm not sure, but it's there a little bit.
Not to get too specific, what's your best squat? That's good for an offensive line. My best squat probably was 585, which I know I can do more, but they told me just to hold on.
Do you think you have a shot at the next level?
Yes, for sure.
Have you gotten any feedback? I know you've been here since January and only played several games, but Do you start getting feedback early on just about a few things about where you might stand in that respect?
You know, they want me to play center. You know, because I'm shorter, so mostly everybody wants me to play center. But you know, I feel like center or guard. You know, I feel like I could do that. I just feel like I just need a chance. You know, opportunity, any opportunity for any team. I feel like I could, you know, impact.
You have another year to
Yes.
play here, so theoretically, you show you play guard this year. Maybe next year, show them you play center, so you get kind of both at this level.
Yes, and I feel like you know, I'm great at center, great at guard. I feel like I just need an opportunity, you know, to show myself at that level. I feel like I'm still, you know, working here, and I feel like when my time's up here, I feel like I'll definitely have a shot at the next level.
Willie, to go off of that, are there any particular guards or centers probably in the NFL that you kind of look up to? As you said, you know, there's not a lot of 5'11" guys necessarily, but whether it's a technique thing, I don't know. Like, are there certain guys that you kind of try to, you know, borrow from their games?
I like watching Shaq Mason, Brian Allen, A.Q. Shipley, guys like that.
Willie, the coaches talk a lot about your background in wrestling. Like, do you still keep up with that occasionally, or is it all football now?
You know, sometimes when I go back home, you know, I'll go back to the room. You know, I'm still really tight with my wrestling coaches. You know, I'll go back and I'll talk to the kids, wrestle with them.
Are there any other wrestlers on the team? You talk shop with them?
Oh, Jalen, Tamari, Malad, talk junk to them. I feel like I can beat them all.
Those guys that chirp at you, do you ever kind of think about how you like to pin them to the ground?
I won't even pin them. I just
They may not know about
down,
your
so.
wrestling background. Maybe they should, huh?
Yeah, but I feel like, you know, it's just they just talk. But after the game, they know the truth.
Willie, Tamari is adamant that he has never lost here and would never lose. Just so you know, if you need that for any preparation, he is adamant that that's his belt in the UNC locker room. Just so you know.
Yeah, he's good, but I feel like I have the will.
You should do an NIL
We need
battle.
we need a wrestler. If
Do an
anybody
NIL
can
battle.
Put it in
Do an NIL event.
Do an NIL.
that might be good though.
Adam can MC.
Oh my God.
UNC's got a pretty good wrestling program, so you
Yeah,
can
they're good. They're good.
How does that help you, though, in the wrestling background as an offensive lineman? I guess that mental toughness goes with not being defeated in a one-on-one.
I'll say, like for example, like when I was in high school, you know, I never could finish. I couldn't finish, you know, until I lost in the state finals my junior year. I knew I had to, you know, make something. I had to do something different. You know, I had to work harder. You know, I had to finish practice. I couldn't just, you know, relax. And I couldn't just relax just off getting one takedown. I know I had to keep pushing because at any moment, you know, in wrestling you could lose. Regardless of being up, being down, you could lose, you know. I've seen some people, you know, down 13 points and come back and win off of a pin, you know. So that's wrestling just gives me the mentality to just keep pushing and just finish.
Willie, I know this is a team game, obviously, but for you personally in your journey, would you take a moment this week or maybe before the game Saturday night to think about, I remember the story you told me about going to see Miami play just as a fan.
Yeah.
Will you take a moment just to think about, like, well, I was sitting in that stadium watching and now I'm going to go against these guys. Like, I mean, does that register as something that seems pretty neat thing?
You know, it's cool, you know, but, you know, I have a goal, you know, and I feel like it's just another game, you know, and I look at every single game regardless of the opponent, you know, I have to do my job.
You guys good? Willie, right now Miami has the first ranked run defense. You guys got your run game back going against Syracuse this past week. But what's kind of going to be the key in the effort to continuing y'all's ability to be able to run the ball?
I say we just have to be on one accord, you know, do our job, you know, do your job, and you know everything to take care of itself. We have two great running backs, three great running backs. We have British Brooks, Marion, Elijah. We have Caleb. We have great backs. We just have to, you know, open up the holes and it'll take care of itself.
And what sticks out when you watch the Miami line up front? Just the different things that they do. Like what sticks out to you?
Well, they're athletic, really athletic, you know, and they're big bodies. So we have to have great hands, great feet, and great eyes.
Willie, the way the numbers y'all put up as an offense against Syracuse, 664 yards, you threw for 400, you ran for 200. Like, I know that might not be possible every week to do that, but is that sort of the goal or the template, what this offense is capable of? 400 passing, 200 running. Is that what the bar you can strive for?
I wouldn't even say it's really we strive for. It just happens, because we just want to be elite. We just go out there and we just play, and it happens. We just go out there and play, and it just happens.
Ready? Thank you, Willie.
Thanks,